Book 8, Lesson 21, Conversation. So, as usual, I'll give you a question, I'll ask you a question, pause the video, and then I'll answer the question myself. So, I get to be the center of attention a little bit, but mainly you can check or compare your answer with mine, but of course I'll give you the feedback through WhatsApp as well. Okay, question number 1. Is your job stressful? Explain. Answer, I don't think my job is very stressful. Of course, I work very long hours, 11, 12, 13, sometimes even 14. My record was, I think, 14 hours and a half a day. So I work a lot, I work long hours, and I record the videos for the Portuguese channel as well. But I don't think it's very stressful. A job for me that is stressful is a repetitive job. So that's why I have problems, for example, with intermediate levels sometimes. Not that I have problems with, but if I had just intermediate or basic students, I think it would be a little bit more difficult. But I'm pretty okay because I have very interesting students. I can talk to them about many interesting things. For example, this week I have a mother and a son who are starting a private course with me, and the mother wants to read The Lord of the Rings together, and her son will read The Hobbit. So how can you get stressed with a job like that? I'm going too far in my answer, sorry, but just one more thing. Of course, I just get stressed, and I think my job is stressful when students don't admit, that they don't know. So, for example, some students are still in the basic or they're intermediate and they have a hard time speaking things, but they always want to find an excuse, and then I have to act as a psychologist as well as a teacher. I think this is a little bit more stressful, but overall I'm very happy with my job. Question number 2. Do you ever oversleep? Answer, sometimes I do. It's interesting. It's a very interesting, and it's a fact. It's not something I'm making up to answer the question. I hadn't overslept. I don't know if I told you in one of the videos, but I hadn't overslept for 2 years. And then we bought this new sofa, and the commercial for the sofa, the ad said, "We're not responsible if you oversleep," something like that. And since then, sometimes I wake up and I decide to take a very small nap on the sofa, like 5 minutes, and then I oversleep. Okay, question number 3. How is a cabin different from the house or apartment which you live in? Answer, well, for once, my cabin is not made of, my apartment is not made of logs. My apartment is not in the mountains, right? It's not rustic or anything like that. Question number 4. Why do some people have burglar alarms? Answer, well, because they're afraid, right? Mainly, unfortunately, here in Brazil. Question number 5. Give us an example of a comic you think is hilarious. A comic, I think, Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a hilarious comic. He's a stand-up comedian, right? But he has that kind of humor that is a little bit acid. He uses a lot of bad words as well, and I like it. Bill Burr, right? It's like Bill and Burr, B-U-R-R. He's on Netflix. You should watch him. Question number 6. What's another word for a country? Answer, nation, right? My land, you could say as well. Question number 7. Complete this sentence. if the weather hadn't been so bad, we could. Answer. Well, if the weather hadn't been so bad yesterday, we could have gone to the beach. We could have played outside. We could have had fun on the yard, alright? Remember, pay a lot of attention to the construction there. Question number 8. What are ambulances for? Answer. Well, ambulances are there to transport, people. Not only that, right? One of the most important jobs of an ambulance is to make sure that the patient will get the first cares, right? The first aids. Question number 9. Tell me some kinds of food which are traditional in Brazil. Answer. Well, many kinds of food, right? Feijoada, acarajé, but I don't know, but it's traditional, right? I think I've never tried acarajé. Barreado, right, in Paraná, here, right? Pinhão as well. And then you have all of the sweets, right? Like brigadeiro, I don't know, paçoca is one of the best things we have ever invented, right? Pastel is a Brazilian invention as well, even though it was invented by Japanese immigrants here, but it's a Brazilian invention, right? So we have... Oh, sorry. I just clicked, a video in YouTube. Yeah, we have lots of nice food. Keep in mind that it's not by accident, but by choice that I prefer to say pastel, feijoada, pão de queijo, pinhão, and etc. That's the preference in English, right? English prefers to use the word as close as they can to the original language, right? And in our case, it's our mother tongue, so we can say them the proper way, right? Question number 10. What is the population of Brazil? Jesus Christ, I should have read those questions before I asked. Answer? I will search for it because I'm terrible, I don't know. Look, according to my memory here called Google, our population is 209.5 million people. This is regarding 2018.